Inshallah.
Allah, it's amazing to have all of you sisters here. Thank you for introducing yourselves. Adila, Madiha, mashaAllah, the backbone this time,
Yes.
but behind all of our posts, everything that you see, all of the social media, mashaAllah. And salam alaikum to Sister S and Anjum. Please let us know your names, sisters. If your names don't pop up, please do let us know your names. And if you are watching the replay, then please do comment below. Even if you're watching the replay, we will get back to you, inshallah. We're just super excited to have the 4th edition of Your Parenting Tribes, Parenting with Alabama Sites Conference, mashallah. As you can see on the screen in front of you, we've got a new sense of parenting. That was our first conference that we did. And then we went on to do a Father's Reflection, which was the Father's Conference. Then we did Parenting with a Love and Purpose. We then did a Ramadan Spiritual Retreat. And last year, Unleash Your Parenting Potential. This year, we're here with No One Taught Me This. It is our pleasure, extreme pleasure, to have all of you here, mashallah, here to watch No One Taught Me This. We've been preparing it behind the scenes for months and months and months and months. Although you wouldn't have known that if you were here backstage about an hour ago.
So raising mindful Muslims really starts with giving them a balanced lifestyle. Again, to helping our children understand that who's really in charge of the food? It's these chemical companies that are in charge of the food. And the fake food can destroy our bodies. It's a #1 driver of disease. It's destroying our balance. Specifically, when you go to any masjid or if you go to any holiday or anything, it's sugar. But sugar is responsible for all of these deaths, and it really causes disease. So getting rid of all the junk food and focusing on the foods that Allah has given us, tons of vegetables, clean protein, healthy fats, will help to balance the gut health, will help to, the hormone balance, and then is the most nutrient dense foods for you. But just look at all of these foods that have been mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah. Subhanallah. Look at that. Check all of that out. And so if we can just even incorporate some of these and all of these foods into, so instead of using canola oil, if we can go to olive oil and ghee, instead of, using sugar, let's go to honey, right? Instead of just giving us all this junk like soda pops, go to water, instead of candy, giving the kids this pomegranates. Because now, subhanAllah, we are just starting to understand the beauty of these foods. Let me just talk to you specifically about it fascinates me that in order to stay healthy, we need a certain kind of gut bacteria called Akkermansia. And Akkermansia is needed for overall health, but it only makes up 3% of your gut microbiome. But the only way you can get the Akkermansia is through pomegranate. Like that's what it feeds on. So it needs to grow. It needs it to grow. And the only thing that really feeds us pomegranate. So there's a subhanallah. Like it's not like you can get it through a supplement, but you're going to get it through these real foods that Allah has given us. And that's the key to raising healthy children is to.
How do you create compassion? Where's the time to create compassion? I'm so busy. I'm so busy. Busy with what and busy for who? That's where you will create compassion and you'll calm your ego down. Creating compassion is equal to calming your ego down. I cannot say shutting your ego down. That's not even possible. We have the ego, and Prophet ﷺ taught us this dua, Ya Hayyu Ya Qayyum bi rahmatika astaghith aslah li sha'ni kullahu wa la takilni ila nafsi tarfat ayn. The English translation loosely that I will say is that did not give me away to my nafs ego, right? Even for the blinking of an eye. This is the last portion of the dua. Even for the blinking of an eye, may not my ego rule me, because if it does, if I allow my ego to rule, I'm not going to become a compassionate person for anybody, let alone myself. We're not saying I'm doing this because you did this. We're saying we already had a confirmed communication that this is allowed and this is not allowed. We agreed to it before. If this is still happening, then we need to address why. And we all know with teens, the problem is just one thing. Again, I will address this, that Dr. Madiha was absolutely right with that when they're eating all the processed food, the chemicals are affecting the brain activity, and they're not able to sustain focus or maintain more healthy relationship during their communication. Their amygdala is more threatened, they're more hyper, they're constantly looking for dopamine fix, they are agitated just like the adults. I don't find that the adults are any different from our teens. We want to do what we want to do, and we have our fixes, and we numb ourselves, and we do the same stuff. It's just this because they're under our supervision, we more micromanage them because we think we know better. But do we really? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We do know some things that might be hurtful for them. So connection and collaboration through communication. Connection, collaboration through communication. Open-ended questions, acknowledgement, listening skills, listening without getting triggered. For example, a person is yelling at you, the first and the most instant basic reaction would be, I will yell back. I'm the first one to admit this. If my son or my daughter yell at me, there is no way in the world that my first instant reaction is to, oh, it's okay, their amygdala is not working and their prefrontal cortex is not working, and that's why they're yelling, and maybe some processed food that they ate, and that is why they're no. I'm not thinking all of that. I'm thinking, how dare you? How dare you? And why am I thinking, how dare you? Because I'm the parent, I'm the adult, I'm the one who takes care of you, I'm the one who has the best interest in your heart. I am the one who makes du'as for you. I'm the one who's scared and concerned for you. I am coming from such a good perspective for you, and you, how dare you undermine all the goodness I have in me, and I am catering to you that goodness. How dare you? Is it okay? Have compassion for yourself. Yes, it's okay. Should it be a practice? No. No, it should not be a practice. How do I then step back? It is as if you're holding yourself like this, and you're like really taking a step back. Why should I lie and I should say that it becomes easier? No, it's according to your temperament. It's according to your temperament. If you are also a very hyper personality, and you get angry and excited and happy easily, and you're loud like I am, it will take more energy. If you're a more passive temperament and you take time to process, and you're meticulous in giving your responses, and you have a methodology to things, and you are more trained to thinking and practicing before doing, then yeah, probably you will have a more calmer response to that. But when it's a parent, it's always not calm. It's like 99.999% it's not calm, because you're like, I am coming from a good perspective. You should understand and accept my goodness that I have in my heart for you.
Shanaz says, yes, all four of them. Shanaz, do you mean you have 4 children and all 4 are strong-willed?
Yes, sister.
Okay, mashallah, lucky you. So remember that I am always going to be a fan of the strong-willed child. I think they're fascinating. I think they're brilliantly minded. They're so intelligent. They're just drawn to having really good boundaries. I've got an 18-year-old who is a strong-willed child. And let me tell you that he, alhamdulillah, has never been like into peer pressure. He makes his own decisions. So really concentrate on the strengths of a strong-willed child. But yes, I totally know how exhausting it can be. Sometimes I fall into bed at the end of the day and just be like, why can't they just say yes, mum, just once? Anybody else feel like that? or just okay, mum, or something that is just easygoing. I totally get it. So these two questions that you see on your screen are really, really valuable for connection. What is going on for my child right now? And what does my child need? Notice, when we ask ourselves these questions, we force our brain to be in the present moment, not in 1985 when you were a kid. I'm showing my age here. And not in 2030 because you're worried that your child's going to be a brat, right? You're forcing your brain to stay in the present moment. Today's Thursday. Today's about this, and this is the problem. Okay, what is going on for my child right now? And so usually with these two questions, practicing them and repeating them is going to force you to empathize with your child. And so let's go with a scenario of your child is clingy. Okay, does anybody have any clingy toddlers out there? If you're watching this later on, ask yourself and pause this video at this moment. If you have a clingy toddler, yes, Nafisa is saying yes, she does. So a clingy toddler is, let's apply this to that scenario. So what is going on for my child right now? So Nafisa, if you're comfortable, or anybody else, let's think of a moment, a really big triggering moment when your child was clingy and clinging to your leg and just really not letting you go. If you just think about for a moment, think of one scenario, or even, yeah, Salima is saying clingy but no longer a toddler. That's cool. We can also talk about any age. Think of your clingy child, and I want you to write in the chat box what was going on for your child then. So if you go.
Children. And then when you're looking at 14 onwards, you become more their friend. You become their ally. You become their support. You're not their enemy. From 14 onwards. Now, if you haven't done the triggered inner work, the inner work around this, you're going to find your teenager very triggering. You're going to find their reactions and their answering back and the things that they say as they develop their own human ability to have opinions, and they're going to have different opinions to what we have. I have a 24-year-old, I have a 19-year-old, I have a 16-year-old, and I have a 10-year-old in the older section, right? I have a 4-year-old as well. And it's so interesting when you hear and allowing them. One of the fastest and beautiful messages in regards to our teenagers, to create a thriving teenager, is always sending the message, you are capable. Allah has made you capable. I'm here supporting you, but Allah's always got your back. When we send this message, we're building that confidence, we're building that resilience. Growth mindset, the number one aspect of building a growth mindset in a child was their parents' response. Your response matters. The way you speak to your children matter. The way you react matters. And that can be changed. That can be changed, subhanAllah, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us that ability. You being here now, if you're still here listening to this message, mashaAllah, because you're probably part of the 5% of the people that want to make the changes. You want to be the cycle breaker. So what else builds a thriving Muslim child is that.
Right? This is a mother talking about her daughter in front of the daughter, telling somebody else, hey, I don't like how Allah created her because no man is going to want her. Her boobs are way too small to be liked. How do you think that girls' self-confidence is going to impact it? How do you think that girls' body image is going to be impacted? It's horrific. And here's the even more said apart. This mom, she's not doing this intentionally. She probably got that off her mother, right? And her mother got it off her mother. So this generational conditioning and the negative self-perception is moving from mom to mom to mom to mom. Like I see girls, Sarah, 10, 11, 12, worried about going on diets and doing keto and weighing themselves. And I'm like, subhanAllah, where is this world coming to? Where is it coming to? And One of the most common conversations that I see in my culture, I'm half Baluchi, half Arab, and I see it on both sides, is somebody hasn't seen you in a while. The first comment is, "Oh my God, you've lost so much weight," or "Oh my God, you've gained so much weight." Like, you haven't seen me for years, and your first sentence to me is how my body looks, and it's mind blowing to me. Like, how are we preparing our children to have a positive a body image about themselves if we are constantly bombarding them with messages that they're not good enough, they're not gorgeous enough, they're not small enough, or they're not big enough, right? Or they're not sexy enough, or they're not pretty enough, or the skin color is just not right. Oh, poor you, you're a bit darker than your sister, huh? Right? What are we doing with them? And do you know how we're showing them this? Even if we're not telling them, do you know how we're showing them? We are modeling it for them. If you're constantly jumping from one question to another, if you're constantly in front of the mirror going, "I don't like the fat that I have here. I don't like the back fat that I have." Do that in private all you want, mama. That is your business, subhanAllah. We all like our body to look a certain way. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But when you do that in front of your daughters and in front of your children, what are you teaching them? That they're only good enough if they're a certain size?
Want to truly make it a movement, because it's so possible for everyone, right? I think that's my biggest takeaway for everybody, right? That just know that it is possible for you. If it is possible for us, it is absolutely possible for you too. You just have to figure out, what it is that you're already great at, and how can you package that into a solution that you put in front of the right people, right? Literally, like that. I feel like that's the formula, that's the magic. So Sarah, I just want to address something that comes up over and over. When you're first starting out, you're just like, I don't have a website, I don't have a brand, or this, that, the other thing, right? Where do I get started? You literally need to validate your idea, right? You need to connect with the right people first. That's all I want you to worry about. I don't want you to worry about, building a website, even building a funnel and all of that. That happens a little bit later. So all of my programs, when I launched them at the very, very beginning, none of them had even a sales page. It's so funny. So I tell my clients even right now that I pre-launch, right? I pre-launch before I even build the thing. I actually give them just like a button that they can click on to purchase the thing. And I always give my initial clients a really good deal, because it becomes a no-brainer for them to say yes to. And it also helps me have input from my clients directly as I'm building the thing, right? So it's a win-win. And once it's built, then when we relaunch, price goes up and everything is built, right? The sales page is built, the course is built, and all of that is done. And not everybody does it like that. I'm very comfortable doing it like that, because I know that I can handle ambiguity at the beginning, right? Uncertainty is totally fine with me. Like, I don't need to have like 100%, things in front of me and solved before I jump in. I jump in and figure out later, which is why I also was saying that initially, right? So at the very beginning, you just need a Zoom account or a StreamYard account, one or the other, right? You literally just need that. And you need a Google form so that you can enroll people, and a Stripe link, right? Stripe link, Google form, Zoom. If you have those three things, all three of them are free. You can literally get started. You can literally get started, start showing up, start talking to people, start showing up and, asking questions, saying.
So the next one, a shepherd is diligent in his responsibility. As parents, are we diligent in our parenting journey? We might respond saying that we are diligent. Like we make sure our children go to good schools because they need to go to good schools. So we diligently plan when they were young where to settle in a good neighborhood. We make sure they have good friends. And we even get to know the parents of their friends because we are very diligent on those things. But do you know where we drop the ball in our due diligence with our assumptions? As Muslim parents, the very first assumption we tend to make while raising children is that they will automatically adhere to the deen out of instinct. Just because a child is born into a Muslim household, that does not by default translate to them internalizing what it means to be a Muslim. This is an inaccurate assumption on the assumption on the part of parents. This is the failure of our diligence. This is a beginning phase of where the road begins to curve and get bumpy in parenting. How can we expect an 8-year-old to develop by themselves in Salah or Sunnah by themselves? Although every child, regardless of the family they are born into, is born with the fitrah, the innate disposition of a Muslim. They are not equipped with the knowledge of being a Muslim. It is our responsibility as parents to nurture, develop, and polish their fitrah and enable them to connect with the Creator. When it all boils down to our children absorbing Islam within the core of the soul, it is all about connecting and re-establishing the broken connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What does this mean? If we dive deeper into the foundations and concepts of Islam, Allah has explained that before we were sent to this dunya, all souls were gathered on Yawmul Arwa, translated like basically all the souls from Adam alayhi salam right up to the last baby that was born had a direct conversation with Allah and were connected to the Creator. We can find direct evidence of this in Surah Al-Araf, where Allah says in verse 172, "And remember, when your Lord brought forth from the loins of the children of Adam their descendants and had them testify regarding themselves, Allah asked, 'Am I not your Lord?' They replied, 'Yes, you are. We testify. We caution now. He cautioned, now you have no right to say on Judgment Day, we were not aware of this.'" So if we analyze this verse, one can immediately realize that the soul of our kids before coming to this dunya has already gone through this testament revealed in this ayah. So ultimately, they all have the fitrah. So ultimately, we as parents are here to facilitate our children's connection back to Allah in the form of the deen.
Parents need to make sure that they're doing that work so that that can be exemplified with their children, right? When you can do the work though when you don't do the work of being able to tame your nafs and setting boundaries in your nafs, doing the essential work of tazkiyah, where you're freeing the heart, you're pruning the heart from its impurities and from the shackles of the nafs, you will not be able to teach your child how to tame theirs. So I'm going to give you some examples of how that shows up in parenting. So, for example, when your child comes up to you and they're experiencing great discomfort, great difficult emotions, if you never have built the muscle of sitting with your difficult emotions, or sitting with discomfort, or sitting with delayed gratification, the second your child brings to you discomfort, you're also going to teach them to escape, even though you had no intention. You see, eventually you can't control the truth coming out. Truth always comes out. We think we're going to be able to control it in certain situations. No. Truth is so powerful. Truth is more powerful than you. So it will always be the thing that surfaces. And so in those moments, you're going to look for ways to immediately soothe your child, so that don't cry. Have an ice cream. Does that make you feel better? Watch the iPad. Trying to find immediate ways to get them to soothe their nafs. Children, their nafs is at the forefront. This makes me happy, I want it. It doesn't matter if it's harmful. This makes me feel good, I want it, right? I want to eat 10 cookies. That's because I want it. Give it to me, right? And you have to be the one that teaches them, no, this is not good for you, right? And so, but if you yourself have a very low tolerance for discomfort, your tolerance will also be low for holding a space for your child's discomfort, right? So that's really important to understand, that the more I work on my own heart, the more that I work on my own nafs, the more that I work on prioritizing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Him being pleased with me, and me prioritizing what is pleasing to Him over what my lower self is calling me to, the more I will naturally, in addition to my words, I will exemplify to my child what it means to really rise above these lower facets within us, so that we
encourage open communication. And this goes with every single thing that we've talked about today, right? Talking about decreasing the conflict, right? We've talked about increasing the understanding, sharing responsibilities, establishing the family goals, setting clear expectations. All of this is going to work best when you talk openly with them and you have open communication. Now, this example comes up a lot in our talks because it is such a vivid example of a lot of people when they were growing up. If a glass breaks in the house, right, what's the first thing that you say, right? Is it like, oh my goodness me, that was my favorite glass ever, how did you dare break it, right? Or is it like, inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un? Or is it somewhere in between, right? Is it something like, it's okay, don't worry about it, are you all right, are you safe? Yeah, you're fine, okay, let's move on. Okay, communication and trust, these go together really. But what happens is when something breaks and the kid's like, it wasn't me, right? Okay, when they do that, like, oh, it wasn't me, then you know that the parent is going to come to them with a blame, like, oh my God, you broke the glass, like, why did you break it, and so on, right? Okay, and that brings the child to like a defense mechanism immediately. Even if they did it, they immediately say it wasn't me, because what they're trying to do, they're trying to protect themselves from the consequences of breaking that glass. Now, if that glass is not a big deal, which it isn't, come on guys, it's not a big deal, right? Okay, so if they've broken it and you ask them, yeah, Halima, exactly, like, are you hurt? Are you okay? Are you all right? All right, that's fine, no problem. Yeah.
The second thing I want to speak about is setting boundaries. Now, many women, or maybe all of us here, have heard the word boundaries again and again and again. And people only think it means saying no. And that is not the case. Boundaries does not only mean saying no. Boundaries and putting in boundaries with people around you, even your children, doesn't only mean I'm saying no. It means I am telling the other person how I would like to be treated. How I would like to be treated. Once you can put in boundaries in your life, your children also can do this. And it's important to do that with your children. And the reason I say this is because one thing I see amongst the hundreds is how some women compensate the lack of the father figure in the child by giving children everything that they think they need. They parent from their own lack rather than what the child needs. Just giving you a second to think about what I said. A lot of parents parent from their own lack, whether that's lack of money, lack of time, lack of space, whatever it is, rather than giving their children what they actually need. And that is all of us. We have all been there. We're all maybe doing it now. And some of us might continue to do it. And we can do this in marriages, and we can do this in divorces. As single women, as married women, it does not really matter what your relationship status is. So many of us are giving our children things that we thought we needed, rather than thinking about what they need.
Have gone off topic, I apologize. So the conference has been absolutely amazing and I've learned so much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless the PWABMS team always and reward you all for your efforts. Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much. And can I thank all of the VAs? I know Asha's worked really hard with some of you as well, and obviously I have. And I know that a few of you are here now, Adila and Madiha. I think who else is here? Thank you so much for all of the hard work that you ladies have put in. And again, like I said, I think, wasn't it the main thing that they kept saying? I didn't realize how much hard work it was.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I also wanted to say a big, massive thank you to both of you, especially Madiha and Adila. And also we had sister, is it Najam? Nabila.
Nabila.
Get her mixed up.
We've
And
got Fatima. We might as well mention all of them. So there was Fatima, Javeria, Adila, Madiha, mashaAllah, and Ibrahim, Khadija. They're the two school kids as well. MashaAllah. I think we've said everyone, right? Everyone that was in the VA teams. And honestly, they worked super hard. Some of them did not know what a landing page was. Some of them didn't know what we meant by content creation or social media and how it all works and what you have to do and how you create the posts and you schedule them and you put them online and you share all of this with everyone. And even just sharing for the conference itself, subhanAllah.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
A lot of that, yeah. Yeah, and Sister Namuli, welcome. It's absolutely fine if you're brand new in the conference. You can see all of our previous conferences if you like. We have got all of the links that are coming up, so hopefully you've all registered for the conference. If you haven't, then I'll just give you the link right now. Even if you didn't register before, share now, because what we will be doing is sending you links on all of the different stuff that we're doing, inshallah. And as we've been speaking about the inner tribe, what Aisha and I both work in, and then we've also got Coach Farida and Coach Iram working with us, mashaAllah. And we're gonna do like a brand new version of it this year. So those of you that were in the inner tribe, you're now being promoted to soul searchers, mashallah, because you've been working on your inner selves this whole year. And you're now going to be doing what we call surgery on your souls, inshallah.
I absolutely love it. When you told me the name of that, that's perfect.
Yeah, mashallah. Especially for the work that we're going to do, the inner work, it's going to go a little bit deeper, inshallah. Adila wants to join in. Yes, there is a surprise prize, Shanaz, but the funny thing is that you have got the main prize, which is that you're in the inner tribe already, mashallah. And I will definitely be sharing this, inshallah, with you. Adila, welcome to the inner tribe. And we'll talk in a little while. I will send you also, I need to give you all the link for the to join in the inner tribe. Of course I do. That is a good plan. Do you want to just carry on for a second, Aisha, while I just get this?
Of course. I'm going to come here to talk more about the VAs. So okay, I'll just go say it, whether Sarah you like it or not. But Sarah has a program for training virtual assistants, mothers and women of any capacity, and we have trained some women to become VA. So all of the things that you have seen in regards to the posts, the landing pages, anything regarding the conference have been made by the VAs who were trained on that particular course. And each VA got experience with a natural coach or with someone who could guide them on their journeys and give them this experience. Now, mashallah, those women that were in that particular cohort got a special bonus to work on this conference. And we did warn them at the beginning. Actually, we've always warned them that this is going to be no easy ride. So we threw them in the deep end. We really did. But I am so happy and I'm so glad we did do that, because if they were to go back and see some of the first content pieces that they did, which I thought was still brilliant, and then they see what they made just yesterday or the day before, they would be able to see how absolutely amazing their work has come from just these few weeks. And we like to cram things in your parenting tribe, which means they got first-hand knowledge on anything that they needed help with in regards to the systems that we use, the content pieces that we use, how we coach, how we carry ourselves in the world, how we bring in clients, all of that stuff. There's no restrictions in asking questions at all, alhamdulillah. And you can see from the comments as well, especially if you're streaming in from YouTube, that the proof is in the pudding. You know, alhamdulillah. And I would like to thank them all, every single one of them, for the questions that they ask. They never stop asking questions. And I'm a very true believer of asking questions. And this is something that was taught to me by one of my teachers, who used to say to us, the more you ask questions, the more you learn. And I'm sure Sarah will say that as a teacher as well. Like, the more you ask, the more you're going to learn. And so the questions that were being asked of us, like, how do you do this? And how do I do this? And hey, I forgot this. I love those questions, because if we had not given them this opportunity, I think they wouldn't have been able to learn what they learned so quickly. It would have taken a little bit longer. And that's okay too. But alhamdulillah, the work that they've done, I'm always going to be very, very grateful for that, because you allowed me to have 8 hours of sleep a day. And I'm very appreciative of that.
And me too. Absolutely me. I think I texted you all on the first night. I was like, oh my God, I'm actually going to go to sleep today. That is so weird. SubhanAllah. Like, it was it was a long, hard journey, of course, as it normally is. And this year, I actually spent some time in hospital. Iram had lots of travel plans booked. Aisha wasn't well. Aisha had her own, mashallah, she's launching her own Clear Sky Healing, which was going on. So at one point, we were just like, oh my God, is this conference actually even going to happen?
Yeah.
Until all of you VAs stepped up, mashallah, and you did like a mountain of work, mashallah, and you helped us. And then I was saying to Aisha, and I think I posted it in the group as well, I said, oh my God, Aisha, do you remember? We have probably done, between us, last year, we did 10 people's work.
Yeah, you know, that's why I mentioned the sleep, because last year we were up 2, 3, well, for me it was 2 and 3 a.m, but I forget for you it's like,
yeah, it was about 6. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like no sleep at all. Not to mention, I did see a few cheeky little chats at 3 a.m. this year, but alhamdulillah, it was a really, really good run this year. So thank you all so much, because we really did ask each other, didn't we? Are we going to do it this year?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, because the thing is, sisters, we love to help, and Aisha and I come from a place of service, as does Iram. Everyone, all of the team members, to be honest. Yusra is here as well. We've got Farida, we've got Amina, and all of us come from a place of service, and we want to help moms in whatever you do. So if you want to, for example, homeschool your children, if you want to earn some money from home, if you want to co-parent nicely with your spouse, ex-spouse, or even your spouse currently, you know, whatever you want to do, we're trying to help you in all of these different areas where you might feel that you need some help. So we have come up with what we call the parenting tribe, and in the parenting tribe, in the free version, you get a free WhatsApp group, and we do videos every Thursday. Okay, and then if you want some more kind of detailed support, if you just want someone to kind of hold your hand through the journey, then you can join Supported, where we help you kind of parent from a place of peace, where, like we said earlier, where you basically get support on those issues that are keeping you up at night right now, right? Like, my child is not going to sleep. My child is not eating their food. My child is stressed about school and I need to help them. Or my child keeps answering me back and I don't know what to do. All of those problems, we've seen them in loads of Facebook groups. I've seen them on Mum's Net. I've seen them on Baby Center. And I keep saying to them, listen, sister, you just need a conversation with a good coach, right? Just an hour with a coach, half an hour with a coach, and you'll know what to do. You'll get the answers we're not going to give you the answers, but what will happen is that you will gain the clarity to find those answers yourself, and you'll be like, oh, I can do this, or I can do that. And just like we said earlier, it's about someone that listens to you, someone that's on your side, in your corner, without any kind of biases on one way or another, which really helps you to clarify your feelings, and then inshallah you can move forward. So like I said, we've got supported, that's the first level. Then we have the inner tribe, where we actually work on our inner selves. So we all went through, Aisha and I supported Coach Iram, and we went through a coaching program where I think some of you that are here, Nabila, you're in the inner tribe, aren't you? And Jim. So any of you that are here, you can please pop in and let them know how much you enjoyed it and so on. And we started off working on those mental blocks. We worked on goal setting. We worked on making dua, and moved on throughout the year, building on each thing to make the mums, or help the mums, feel more content, more happier in themselves. And that emotion wheel that Aisha was talking about, it started off like very full with like, oh my God, I feel like this and I feel like that, and I don't know how to explain myself, and sometimes I just feel so irritated and frustrated. But alhamdulillah, with the inner tribe, I've managed to feel calmer. I feel like I'm at a place of peace, and I can help my children more because I'm calmer, and I'm exactly what you were talking about earlier, Aisha, right? About modeling those behaviors of being regulated and self-regulating yourself so that you can regulate your children, inshallah. Yeah. Simon, you're here too, so you can pop in as well. Shanaz, let us know what you like about the inner tribe. And then yeah, that's right, Nabila, listening to everyone else and getting to know that you're not the only one who's going through this is so validating, and so it's kind of calming to your mind, isn't it? You just feel like, alhamdulillah, right? That's not everyone. Everyone feels like this sometimes. Yeah. That's absolutely amazing, Gunjum. She said that her 11-year-old said that she doesn't shout now. Yeah. So Adila saying that her next mission is to join the inner tribe, mashaAllah. And Nabila saying that it motivated her to speak too. And Halima said that you've done an amazing job, and I'm sad it's the last session. Well, this is what the thing was. The one of the conferences, Parenting with Love and Purpose, that's exactly what everyone said. We're so sad that it's the last one. So when we came back last year, we said that we're going to have the membership group so that it doesn't have to be the last one, right?
Yeah.
So every week you can spend time with Iram or Aisha or myself or Farida, depending on which level you're in, and we will help you through these problems, these issues that come up for you, and talking about them, listening to each other. Now, the Soul Searchers is the last section before you get on to the very last one, which is becoming a coach yourself. And what we would like to do is empower all of you to coach yourselves, coach your children, coach your families, coach everyone. Because like what we said earlier, what I said the other day was, when you learn about these things, right? I'm just going to make the picture a little bit bigger because I think, yeah. So in terms of when we learn about these techniques and these tips and these ideas, they change our life. And then you'll notice that every coach has gone through coaching themselves, because we've realized, oh my God, if I only knew this, no one taught me this before. Okay. If I only knew this before, then I could have had such a better life for the rest of the time that, when I was younger mom, when I had kids before and so on. Like, I honestly believe that if someone had coached me when I was a new mom, I would have had like a very different version of the life that I had. Alhamdulillah, I'm not complaining at all whatsoever. This is the life that I had and I was supposed to have. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying about being at peace with a lot of decisions, being calmer as a mother, not getting frustrated, being able to regulate myself and my children, and making sure, like just what I talked about today, that calm, collaborative household, it was not like that a few years ago. Honestly, it wasn't. And after the coaching, we've got to this level where I can say, hey, I actually can talk about this. Like I said to you at the beginning, my kids were laughing. They were like, Mom, what are you talking about? We're not calm. But guys, you are calm. You're just very loud. That's what I said. I said, you're calm, but you're just a very loud household. That's okay. That's just, boisterous. That's showing that you're a busy household. But actually, in terms of fighting, squabbling with each other, they don't do that because their cups are full. They don't feel like they need that, right? This kid here has missed out on a couple of days of me, and she's upstairs with her dad just now, and that's kind of when I went offline a little bit, because she was basically saying that she wanted a mum, and her dad's like, it's okay, just go to sleep, it's fine, and she's like, no, I want my mum. Now again, going back to our old parenting techniques, he would have been like, stay here now, you're not doing anything, you're not going down to your mum, she's busy, and so on, right? But going through coaching, he's brought her downstairs. He's told her that it's okay. He's validated her worry that, she hasn't spent time with her mum, and she's come and sat down next to me. And again, she's not troubling me at all. Yes, it's 1 a.m. in the morning and she should really be asleep, but it is holidays, and all she wanted was me. As soon as she came down, she was talking to you about 2 seconds ago, and she's knocked out right now. Yeah. So it's just talking about regulating those emotions for you, for your husband, for your family, for your children, and we really can help you. And that's why we always keep saying to you, join us in the inner tribe. Now, going back to what Shanaz said, wasn't there an offer for us all to join us? And I thought that she meant about the prizes, which were 1 free space in the inner tribe and 3 free spaces in supported, which we will definitely be sharing out soon. I just haven't had time to check on the Instagram who's followed and who has shared yet, so I will do that inshallah. But you guys have got a code live 2023, which means that all of the prices for you, for inner tribe, for supported, and for soul searchers are half price today. They're half price till the 31st of December. I will send out an email tomorrow to remind everyone, but just in case you haven't heard or you don't know, this is the code. And if you have a look at our website, which I have linked in here as well, okay, if you look at parenting plans, then basically you'll be able to join us on one of these tiers. And if you do join us, you're welcome. If you don't, you're absolutely welcome. This is not like we're not forcing you at all whatsoever, but what we're doing is we're trying to let you know that we have these opportunities available for you, because we know that we would have needed it when we were first new mums. No one did teach us this. So we're here saying to you, we're ready, we're willing, we're able to teach you this. And if you want to join us, do join us. And again, a lot of coaches, one of the questions that I got last year about this was, I've paid £20,000 for coaching, so how is your offer going to help me be coached? Because the £20,000 one did nothing, right? And what I wanted to say was that, yes, I understand that the £20,000 one didn't do anything, but we're telling you that our version, which is way cheaper than £20,000, will do something, because of all of the work that we are doing as a community together. And you hear from all of the mums that we've coached. They're right here now. You can ask them, you can PM them. I'm sure they don't mind. Aini, you've been in a tribe as well, right? Tawhida, you have also been in the inner tribe. So having all of these members here, you can see what difference we've made in their lives, and you can ask them straight away. We're telling you who they are, so just join in. And here we go, Tawhida saying absolutely. And Aini's asking about Soul Sisters. Ooh, that's another name, right? It's actually called Soul Searchers, but I might change it to Sisters now. That's really nice, Heini. Yeah, she's a living example of the wonderful PWABMS, and she said, I can definitely testify, which is what we're trying to say to you, that you will get that change, you will get that transformation, that stress, that worry that you're feeling now, the frustration with your children, the frustration with your husband, you know, if you want that to melt away, then that's why we're saying to you, come and join us and we will help you. Yeah, I know that there are people who right now even they're messaging me and they're saying to me, you know, can you just give me free access to the can you give me free access to this or that? And the thing is, you're right, I can give free access because it's our website and so on, but no one values that free access. Am I right, Aisha? They don't value it. They're not going to work with it, because if you get something for free, it's like you didn't give anything for it. So you're just going to be like, oh yeah, thanks for that. You might not show up, you might not watch it, you might not see it, right? Okay, so when you pay for that access, now you better believe that you're going to make a difference. You're going to show up. And I did this with Coach Yusra as well, right? When she had the offer on, I used to think, oh, that's a lot of money. I can't spend that kind of money in coaching, right? Shanaz has said the inner tribe is very good. Thank you, Sister Sarah, and obviously Iram as well. Yeah, and Fatima's saying that 20K is ridiculous. We agree with you. That's why we're saying to you that we would like you to join. And the reason why we can have it at this price is if lots of you join, because the more of you that are with us, the more difference we can make, inshallah, to all of your lives, and not just one person or two people getting that help, right? That's brilliant, Anjum. I'm glad you said that, because you were like, you wondered how the inner tribe would actually help you, but you did stick to it and it was magic. MashaAllah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful feedback, mashallah, Anjum. And again, I've written some stories. Maybe some of you that are in the inner tribe, you'll recognize who I was talking about, but I tried to change your names a little bit. But I put the stories on there because the stories are what make the difference in all of you. So some of you were struggling with in-laws, some of you were struggling with your children, some of you were struggling with your adult children, some of you were struggling with your work and home, kind of the guilt that you had, and alhamdulillah, we managed to, I would say, I don't want to use the word fix, but we definitely helped you to mend those relationships, and we feel that we have done a huge a good job. And I'm not going to beat about the bush here, because I know that alhamdulillah we did do something. So please do share with others, let them know that we exist. So share the YouTube link, the WhatsApp links, and so on, so that all the mums that are around can notice how much help there actually is in the inner tribe. And if you see someone on Facebook that is struggling and they're saying, you know, I'm struggling with this, my family, my siblings, my parents, and so on, okay, just send them, just signpost them, say, have you heard of your parenting tribe? Please come in and join us. And when you do that, it will really help us grow as a group. And the more people that join, like we said, the more people that we can invite here. So again, like you might have noticed that this year the conference was a little bit shorter than normal, okay, and that's because from previous years, Iram and I have just invited everyone, and we haven't had to budget too much at all. And this year we did budget, and we did say, right, whatever you guys have invested, this is what you're going to get back. So if you want bigger and better conferences, by the way, Yasmin Mujahid costs around $2,000 an hour. I don't know if any of you know that. Yeah. Okay. So when you bring these people in, we need to have that difference, right, in the budget. Okay, and we can do that if you guys join us in the inner tribe. We're not making anything out of this. For me, Aisha, for Farida, for Iram, for us, it's a labor of love. We just want to share what we're doing. Am I right, Aisha? You've been absolutely silent. You're just nodding.
No, you're absolutely right. And I also wanted to say, like, when like someone said like £20,000 is a lot of money, and yes, it is. But the question we gotta ask ourselves is, how long am I willing to stay stuck in the position that I'm in now?
Yeah.
How long? Either I can stay in this position and it's going to continue happening, whatever that position is, or I can get help and we move the needle and we continue to get to achieve our goals. And this is something that we've had to ask ourselves when we approached coaches to work with. How long am I willing to stay in this position? And the first answer is probably going to be, well, I don't want to stay in this position because it's hard, it's exhausting, it's tiring, whatever this issue is, you don't want to stay there. But if you are not willing to also invest in yourself as well, just like we all invest in clothes. You know, if we lose weight, we buy more clothes. If we put a bit of weight on, we buy more clothes. It's Eid, we buy clothes. Food, you're always buying food. You invest in your house, you buy cupboards, you buy beds, all of this stuff. But we also have to be able to invest in ourselves, because again, it comes back to, we are a mirror for our children. And by putting that investment in, you're putting it into yourselves, but I swear by Allah, you are putting it into generations after you. And that is simply the truth. When you look at psychology, you are going to affect at least 7 generations. It is said that you carry up to 7 generations of trauma, of experiences in your DNA. So if you become the cycle breaker, imagine what you're doing for 7 generations to come. 7! Like, can you believe that? Like, that's absolutely crazy. So have that in mind when you are thinking about this opportunity, and think, hey, how long am I willing to stay in this situation? And you'll get the answer. Do you know, we're always here to support, and the girls know. Even if you've been in our VA courses as well, like, you know that we're there. There's no question is ever stupid. We don't believe in silly questions or stupid questions at all. And that's something my mom taught me is, hey, Aisha, if you don't know something, you simply don't know it. It doesn't mean that you're dumb. There's no explanation for your intellect there. It just means you haven't been taught it yet. Hence this. No one taught me this. And so we want to make our generation those trailblazers and say, hey, you have that knowledge. And it's continuous growth for you. But take the first step for you and for your generations. You both went above and beyond to guide us.
Yeah, of course, mashaAllah. Yes, so just let us know if you'd like to join. Like we said, just use the code live 2023. I was just thinking, 2023. For a
it
second.
is you that made it, right? Yeah.
My age is showing now, everyone. So use the code live 2023 to join up. You can see all of the parenting plans here. You can also see in our you can also see in the description box. I'll put these codes and the parenting plan link in the description box. I'll also add it in the comments, inshallah. So if you have any more questions, if you have anything that you'd like to ask us, do let us know, because coming up live, we have really appreciated it. And that's why all of you that have attended live, plus all of you that are watching with the 7-day access, those of you who've got the 7-day access, and those of you who have bought 1 year access to their conference, all of you also get the same offer, inshallah. Everyone that is here live, you get that. And like I said, the code is only valid till the 31st. So it's basically a
5 days.
a Georgian New Year offer. Even though we don't celebrate it, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that they're going to have the 1st of January, where a lot of people make a lot of resolutions at this time, don't they, Aisha?
Yeah, I have definitely made some intentions for next year. Alhamdulillah, and I think it's good to have a renew, just evaluate. Like I was talking about, every day you need to have this intention setting time with yourself and being mindful. I have something like, so maybe it might sound a lot to people, but I have something that I do daily. I have a checklist of things I want to look at daily, like think about every day. But then I also do it monthly and then yearly as well. And it's not about putting pressure and goals on yourself that you can't complete. It's more about just checking in with your body and asking yourself, hey, like, even if we're 1% better, that's the key here, is we're not striving for perfection. We're looking at 1% better the next day. And sometimes we don't hit that. I don't hit that. I'm sure, Sarah, you don't hit that either. Sometimes we just don't, because we're still human, and we forget that as moms as well, because we want perfection. We think we always have to be in a good mood and we always have to be perfect for our children. But imagine if we were just perfect, like what type of personality would we have then? Literally nothing. There'd be no difference between me and you, right? And differences is what makes us amazing and unique. So when you are looking at the next year, have a hard think and ask yourself, am I willing to be in the same position as today? And next year, on the 26th of December, do I want to still be in that same position that I was this year?
Yeah.
And that's so powerful when you really sit down and think about it. And you don't even need to tell anyone the answer if you don't want to. But just for yourself, if you admit it to yourself, that's like 95% of the work done. Because that's the hardest step, is number one. It's saying to someone, I need help. Yeah. It takes a long time, and that's okay. But we're here when that time comes for you, inshallah.
And this year, what we're doing is we're putting a limit on the amount, on the number of months that you're in each one, because we know that we can make a difference for you within 12 months in Supported, within 6 months in the Inner Tribe, and within 3 months with Soul Searchers. So again, think about that, like how much time you want to spend on each thing, because in Soul Searchers or Soul Sisters, Aini, I'm sorry, I'm nicking your name now. Do you like that better than Soul Searchers?
I like Soul Searchers.
I like both. I
do like them both. We'll have to have a brainstorm situation here. Maybe the girls in Inner Tribe can help us. Unsupported can help us with this.
I think we'll have to get them to do it. MashaAllah. JazakumAllah khair. Shanaz, she said, thank you to all the sisters and coaches. She bought the 7-day pass and then she went for the £37 one. MashaAllah. That just shows how much we appreciate you guys as well, because like we said, just let us know. Fatima said, call it sisters, please.
Soul Sisters. Oh, okay, that was what I was thinking actually. Soul Searcher Sisters.
We'll have to have another think about that. Funnily enough, you know, I've got a couple of friends here and one of them made a WhatsApp group and she called it SYS. And we've just been calling it SYS the whole time. And then the other day I realized, hey, hang on a minute, that spells sis, technically. And I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. Girl power, exactly, Fatima Adina, excellent. Right, so again, I'm going to tell you, astaghfirullah, I'm not selling you anything. I'm going to tell you for a final time, use the code 2023.
It's live 2023. Thank you. I wasn't the one that created this. Can you tell?
It's 1:23 a.m. Please forgive me. Live 2023, and go onto the parenting plans and then choose whichever plan you want. And inshallah, we will love to welcome you. All of the courses and everything's going to start in January. Not now. So you've got a couple of days to enjoy the holidays with your children, and then inshallah we'll hit the ground running. We're going to be doing lots of webinars, lots of different activities, and like I said, if you're in Supported within 12 months, you'll be working on all the different things. If you're in the inner tribe, you'll do similar work, but in 6 months. And if you're in Soul Sister Searcher, Sister Searcher, then you will be doing it for 3 months, mashallah. And after the 3 months of Soul Searchers, you then can apply to become a coach for your parenting tribe. So next year at the conference, you will be sitting here sharing all of the wonderful things that you've learned throughout the year, that you've implemented with your family, with your children. And you could be doing a session about co-parenting with your spouse compassionately. You could be talking about collaborating and creating calmness in your home, because you will have done it for yourself. Right? So when you've done that, that's going to be the most empowering thing that you can ever do. By the way, you could also get individual coaching with Aisha. You can also get it with Iram or Farida or any one of us. And if you're in the inner tribe and so on, you get special offers that they give out throughout the year, that they come and they do workshops with us and they do lots of courses. And we not only have Aisha and Farida, myself, and Yamina and Yusra, we also have other coaches. So if you've heard of Coach Barira, she's going to come and do a course. We've also got Coach Nahida coming to do one. So there's lots of other coaches that have been, involved with the work that we do. I just asked Dr. Marwa to do a private session for us. She's going to come when she launches her book, Aisha. I talked to her afterwards. So inshallah, we're going to get them to come and do these sessions with us as well. Like we said, you will all have the same opportunities, inshallah. Yes, it's absolutely fine to go directly into Inner Tribe, Adila, because like I said, it's a similar program, but you're going to do it quicker in the Inner Tribe. Yeah. Okay. And like I said, those of you in the VA course, just check your messages before you sign up, inshallah. All right. It was absolutely, like I said, to have all of you here today. Me and Aisha have had a wonderful time with all of you. Yusra, I don't know if you're still there, because it's for her, it's 1:30 as well, bless her. And you know what it is, that we just want your du'as, please, and just inshallah keep us in your du'as, keep our families in your du'as. It's not been easy for them. Like I just said to you, like not spending time with them was hard the last few years, but subhanallah, this year the ease with the VAs, mashallah, sisters, you have really, really like just knocked it out of the park. Okay, so jazakallah khair, we really, really appreciate it. And like I said, Live 2023, I finally got it. That's the code name.
Indeed.
Live 2023, sign up and let us know, inshallah. We will probably see you, inshallah, not tomorrow, the day after, in Thursday Thoughts, inshallah. I'm not sure who's going to come, probably myself and maybe Aisha if you're free. We'll come on Thursday and we'll talk about all of what we've talked about in the conference and how to implement all of these different changes to make your next year in the Georgian calendar, although it's not our new year and we don't really celebrate that, you know what I mean. Yeah. All right. Inshallah. Love you all too. Really, absolutely love you all from the bottom of my heart. And I think, subhanAllah, everyone that's here commenting, we've all had personal conversations, which makes it really lovely this time, because I think in the first few conferences we don't really know any of you that well, but this year we've got to know you really, really well because of the work that we've done in all of the different courses. And by the way, just before I go, final thing, I know that I've given you all a code for parenting, but I do have love learning offers at the moment for you, which you basically do you want to say something, Asha? Did you say?
I just said that was just a quick plug.
That really was, and it's a shameless plug as well.
Please go ahead. Live 2023, yes, is for the parenting tribe, which is us right here. But Samara also has Love Learning, which she'll explain what she does in Love Learning.
I think all of you should know by now what I do in Love Learning, where I teach all of you to do different things. I teach parents how to homeschool their children. Aini, you're a testament to that one. Look, subhanAllah, I teach all of you right here, right now. And I've got a really beautiful homeschooling course that Aini has done where I'm going to teach you everything that you need to know about teaching your child. So I teach you how to teach them starting from phonics, starting from number work, how to use play in your learning, and so on. And I've got 2 stages in that one as well. So you've got the 1 stage that is just going to take you about a month to go through, and then I've got the 2nd stage which takes around 6 months to work through. And the same thing, that, you know, the offer is there if you would like to join, and I'm just going to stick the link in there, so if you want to join that, you absolutely can. And we also have a revision course, so if your children are about to take their GCSEs or A levels or any kind of exam, even if they're at even if they're at university, I do definitely teach Anjum's daughter, mashallah. She's one of my favorite students, although no one has favorites, you all know that, but yeah, she is. And you know, I do teach, of course. I've got tuition, and I also have a virtual assistant course, which you have just heard all about. So if you would like to join any of these courses, please do. And even if you think that you're not going to join now, sign up, get the emails, because, you know, you never know, if I do an offer or if I do like an extra webinar or something, you might be interested in that. So just sign up for the courses so that you get all the information, and then inshallah you can join when it's time. And I do feel like I've been talking a lot now, so I'm definitely going to go and let you guys go. Thank you once again, Coach Aisha, for your wonderful speech, your talk about co-parenting with compassion. And inshallah, love and du'as and salam to all of you. Remember us in your prayers. Make lots and lots of dua for the entire ummah. Remember everybody, and JazakumAllah khair. Thank you so much for coming again. Take care, sisters. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.